Tonight, businesses continue to mop up from the damage caused by Port Lincoln's unprecedented flooding event. And a young soccer player set to compete against some of Australia's best.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Hello everyone. Dozens of businesses in Port Lincoln have been left thousands of dollars out of pocket from last week's devastating, unprecedented floods. Several cars have been scrapped for parts as the recovery effort continues.
Dozens of barbecues, heaters, furniture and vanities completely destroyed, contaminated from last week's flash flood. Port Lincoln's Mitre 10 was completely submerged.
The whole store was had been impacted underwater, loss of stock and office spaces and so forth has been huge.
The store tried to prepare as much as it could for Friday's storm. Emergency sandbags ready and waiting.
Another phone call an hour later saying sandbags are not going to do anything out the back because it's all coming everywhere else.
As floodwaters rose, the store quickly became inundated.
About 8 inches through the store, out the back was waist deep.
The business now counting the costs, the store's offices forced to be gutted. Builders working around the clock to get the business back on its feet.
It was devastating. It's devastating for all the staff, not just me. 2
shipping containers worth of products now heading to the dump.
The whole thing is, assessors are looking at probably about $500,000 in stock and fixtures.
The community rallying behind the store with sporting clubs and volunteers pitching in where they can.
Over the last 2.5 years, our staff have spent a lot of time getting this store to a point where we were very proud of what we've achieved, and now we've got to start again.
It's not just businesses feeling the heartache as dozens of cars head to the scrapyard for water damage. A P-Plater's brand new Commodore among them.
Some of them are their pride and joys and didn't want to part with them and wanted to try and keep them, but unfortunately, once water's through them, that's the end of them.
So far, half a dozen cars have been sent to the scrapyard, with more likely to arrive.
There's a few still to be written off by the assessors, so I dare say we'll have a few more to pick up.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A Port Lincoln woman has lost her licence on the spot after allegedly driving with a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit. Patrols put the 45-year-old woman over just after midnight on Luke Street. Police allege Sarah returned a positive reading of .109. The woman's car was impounded for 28 days and she's set to appear in court at a later date. Meanwhile, 5 drivers in Whyalla were caught by police driving under the influence of drugs over the weekend. Among them were 2 Whyalla-Norrie men aged 38 and 40, a 55-year-old man from Whyalla Playford and 2 others in their 30s. All 5 drivers underwent a driver screening test and tested positive to methamphetamine. They were issued with a 24-hour driving ban and police say may face further charges once drug samples have been forensically analysed. Port Augusta City Council is holding community consultation sessions to discuss the town's strategic directions plan for the next decade. The council is calling on the community to be part of the conversations throughout the month.
Port Augusta's strategic direction plan coming to fruition.
Well, you need to have a plan for the future. We just can't sit back and think the future's going to create great things for our city by itself. So we need to be on the front foot and have a plan in place to make sure that we step it out over the next 10 years.
The council will be hosting 4 separate sessions to enable as many members to have their say.
Consultation is the key. The community are the ones that we service, so all their input is received respectfully, and we will work on what they are advising us to do.
Residents keen to have their say.
Definitely need to attract some sort of industry and get our workforce up and going and give a bit of a boost to Port Augusta.
Previous strategic direction plans have seen a variety of changes occur in the city.
We've got the improvements we've done to our foreshore. There's Central Oval Precinct, so there's a number of areas that we have been achieved. We have done some upgrading to our Marriott Street and Young Street and so forth.
With suggestions bound to be up for discussion throughout the forums, locals say the initiation of projects is key.
good to have a chat about what needs to be done, but there needs to be follow-up and action on some of the outcomes.
Residents can have their say without attending sessions by filling out a feedback form. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Rex Airlines will no longer be servicing flights to Kangaroo Island and Ballina, New South Wales after 30 years, blaming unfair competition. The company raised an official complaint to the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission about Qantas having an excessive number of flights to small regions, including within the Spencer Gulf. The airline says Qantas is trying to force out the smaller competitor, diminishing long-term competition. An 11-year-old Whyalla girl has been selected to represent her city at this year's National Soccer Championships. The 3-day tournament will take place in Tasmania, and Mia Pedler will be competing against girls from all across the country.
A dream come true for young Mia Pedler, who's been busy training for the big day.
So she's headed off to the National Championships in Tasmania on the 20th of February. And she'll be playing there for a 3-day carnival.
I'm pretty nervous, but I'm really excited.
With a strict schedule and routine, Mia wakes up at 3 a.m. nearly every weekend, travelling down to Adelaide to train.
She's really given up a lot. She has to give up, going to birthday parties on weekends and things like that because she's dedicated to training.
I want to be a country kid who made it there and got a lot out of it.
Mia has been playing soccer for the past 5 years, starting out in the under-8 boys team at Still United. She then went on to play at multiple championships, selected for specialist soccer programs.
It's an ongoing process to get into these sorts of teams. There were scouts at the state championships and country championships. They tend to select kids that they want to try out for SIP.
Mia was then selected for the state team, an exciting opportunity in her soccer career.
I will be driving with my mum to Adelaide, and then from Adelaide we'll be getting a plane to Melbourne, and from Melbourne we'll be going to Devonport.
Mum and coach Kirsty Arbuckle says her passion for soccer came through when she started the all-girls team.
Mia was really disengaged when she was playing in with the boys. She was ready to quit playing soccer, and when she started in a girls team, that's where she really started to thrive.
Christy started the all-girls team in 2018, encouraging young women across town to get involved.
I've been really, really passionate about girls soccer in Whyalla. Girls playing sport is really, really important, I think.
Mia also looks up to female soccer players for inspiration, aspiring to be just like them.
When I grow up, I really want to play soccer like Ellie Carpenter because she's a really good player and she's my role model.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Good luck to her. She's certainly one to watch. Still to come tonight, a new president for film group screen Broken Hill and Mamma Mia to wow audiences in Port Pirie. Welcome back. A study undertaken by the Cancer Council has revealed affordable and equal access to services are the top priorities of Australians when it comes to healthcare. Today is World Cancer Day, and the Cancer Council Australia is calling for more action to reduce inequalities in cancer treatment outcomes.
Shows that around 1 in 5 people with cancer report cost-related factors as influencing their decision-making about treatment. And in some cases that will mean that they receive inferior treatment.
The survey was conducted in 20 countries with just over 15,000 responses. Mayor Leon Stevens is welcoming this year's university students who are undertaking their placements in Port Pirie. He says it's a great opportunity for students to be exposed to a wide range of clients and for the region to potentially gain future employees.
And the great thing that we get to is any country placements. I think most of the uni students and medical students actually get a better hands-on experience by being out here in the country. Port
Pirie's Uni Hub will be taking enrolments until the end of February. Students who are interested can find information online. Port Pirie's Southern Flinders players are preparing to take to the stage with only a few weeks to go until their premiere performance, Mamma Mia the Musical. Organisers say tickets are selling like hotcakes and they're calling on music lovers in the Mid-North to come and see the show.
Soon to be transformed into a Greek island, these dancing queens are bringing this award-winning musical to the Northern Festival Centre. Directors say they've been chasing this show for over 7 years.
It has so many wonderful connections for so many people, whether it's because they love ABBA or they just love that story of, a Greek island. It's really magical.
The story follows a daughter's mission to discover the identity of her father on the eve of her wedding. The two leading roles, Sophie and Donna, are played by local female performers.
Donna is a wonderful character. She's there with the three leads, the boys, Sam, Bill and Harry, and we're just trying to create a magical show, bringing ABBA and Mamma Mia to life on stage.
Bringing together a show like Mamma Mia that is just so iconic, and being able to have so much fun with everyone while doing it.
Some familiar and fresh faces in this year's performance.
I was in Wizard of Oz and I did Legally Blonde last year. We've actually got a little bit of a different cast this year, which keeps it fresh and exciting and new.
Less than 3 weeks until showtime, the group is encouraging locals to come support this event.
We're very excited and we hope that everyone is able to get tickets soon, as they are getting quite close to selling out.
Tickets can be purchased off the Country Arts SA website. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The new chairwoman of a Broken Hill film industry group says she's very excited to be taking on the role. Annette Hurd says she can't wait to promote the Silver City and its iconic landscape.
Keen to call action on Broken Hills 2020. Annette Hurd only moved to the Silver City last year and she's already enamoured by the region's film industry and heritage.
I think the scenery here has maybe even untapped potential because it can double as another country or as another region.
Her love for the area has seen her become the new chair of Screen Broken Hill, a group of passionate people eager to promote the region, replacing local filmmaker Jason King.
I thought it was about time to encourage some new leadership and new energy and new blood to help take the next step.
Annette says she's honoured to be offered the role, keen to attract more shows and movies to film in the far west. One focus close to her heart is creating opportunities for locals.
Every film production that comes needs people in front of the camera and behind the camera. You need extras, you need crew, you need runners, drivers.
Jason says a number of film projects are currently looking at Broken Hill as a place to operate.
Having an official organisation or a group that can help sort of grow that industry and manage that process is a really great thing.
Anyone interested in joining Screen Broken Hill should visit its Facebook page. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. A group of young netballers return from competing in Queensland. And the countdown is on for St Patrick's Racing Club's 55th meeting. Welcome back. A team of netballers have embarked on a journey to Queensland to compete in the 2020 National Indigenous Championships. The under-16s became champions themselves, finishing in the top spot.
A group of girls with a dream to play netball coming together for the SA Nunga netball representative team.
It was amazing for the girls. They got to, meet new, bunch of girls in their teams. Friendships. I think we had 2 or 3 teams that went undefeated. It was a good comp.
The players say it was a trip to remember with many highlights.
Playing against all the other teams, meeting new people. Exciting and fun.
For some, it offered the opportunity to tick a few things off on the way.
Most of them their first time going to Gold Coast, so just being there and enjoying the theme parks and playing netball.
For Shalana Cox, it was the start of her interstate competitions.
I got picked to go back to the Gold Coast for the International Netball Festival, and it was 2 girls out of South Australia that got picked.
But it wasn't an easy task to get there. The girls worked hard before taking off.
The AEF convention, we did some catering all week for lunch and dinner. Had the girls there serving, so it was a hard week for them. But they did an amazing job.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie Young Professionals is hosting welcome drinks this Thursday night at the Central Hotel. Organisers say it's an excellent opportunity to meet new graduates and welcome them to the region. Drinks will kick off at 5 o'clock and everyone's welcome. And the Port Pirie Blue Light Committee is encouraging children between the ages of 7 to 15 to come to this year's pool party held on the 15th of February. The event will kick off just after 6 o'clock at the Aquatic Centre, and local police say it's an opportunity for authorities to engage with the region's youth.
That communication flow between us and the younger community obviously builds that trust, so then they're more likely to come and approach us in their time of need. If they are involved in a crisis, then obviously they know that police are approachable and can assist them when they need.
More information on the event can be found on SAPOL's website. The Broken Hill St Pat's Racing Club has this week opened its new office in the city's CBD. The countdown is now on to the 55th annual race meeting, with ticketed areas selling out fast.
Just a little over a month to go before Broken Hill is off to the races. The St Pat's Race Club is feeling right at home in their new offices, just down from the Art Gallery on Argent Street. The building's opening signalling to locals now's the time to start buying tickets.
We've started this week to be here on a more permanent basis, so it's 10 till 5 during the week, and as we get closer to the races it'll also be a Saturday.
For those looking to get into Wacky's Bar or the Lawn Lounge, you're out of luck. Both areas are sold out. The last ticketed area though, the Gary Radford Pavilion, still has availability. A fully catered meal, table service and one of the best seats at the track to watch the races.
We aim for around about 300 and we've still got 100 odd tickets or more to sell.
Air conditioning also a big enticer.
If it's going to be one of these 40-degree heat days, yes, you just definitely have to be in there.
The general admission crowd will also be in for a treat come race day. Their feedback from last year fueling some changes and additions.
They're saying to us they'd like some different options with food, so we've got a couple of different food vendors coming back, one returning and a new one coming in, and we've also got a couple of bar areas. Pims is back, that was extremely popular last year.
Reservations for the trackside picnic table area are still open. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll bring you this week's Sport Wrap and the weather with Brit. Hello again. The multi-million dollar redevelopment of Broken Hill's Jubilee Oval hit a big milestone today. Crane crews came in to remove the venue's 35-year-old light towers. They will be replaced with 4 new structures with LED lights, cutting costs and increasing power.
They're also going to generate about 200 lux, which is about 3 or 4 times the initial light. The good thing about that is they can be switched at 50, 100.
Footy returns to Broken Hill in April. Project managers hoping to have all the work completed before the pre-season Lightning Cup. Port Lincoln softball was held on the weekend and there was a fierce match between the Shields and the Eagles. The two teams battled it out, with the Eagles swooping in to secure a narrow win. Nathan Rector has this week's Sport Wrap.
It was a battle to the end for the Shields, with the Eagles determined to take the game. Shields batted first with some good hits from Melissa Ballack, securing 3 runs early on. Eagles played the safe game and it worked in their favour, scoring 4 quick runs. Shields' second bat didn't achieve much, going 3 up, 3 down, but it began looking in their favour, with the Eagles struggling to score. The Eagles eventually taking flight though, as Sarah Loud put bat to ball, cracking a centre field 2-bagger. Heading into the last innings, Shields were in desperate need for runs and they weren't giving up. Melissa Ballack scored a home run for the team, but it was all over, with Eagles taking the win 15-13. In the other match, Scores defeated Roadrunners. The Roadies started in the batter's box batting safe. Players managed to get onto the plates but were not able to score. Roadies' third bat saw no runs. Some good safe batting from the Scores saw them take the win. Around the region now and in the Steel City, Tigers saw victory over Roadrunners 13-6. Roadies Amy Watson, Kelly Reese and Fran Rosewarne all playing well, but Tigers came out the cage swinging to help secure runs across the plate. In the other match, Indians hosted the Eagles with some great shots from Maddie Wellgraven, having an inside home run, finishing the game with an impressive 5 runs batted in. While in the seniors baseball, Roadrunners defeated the Tigers 11 runs to 5. In Port Pirie, Sollycats defeated Checkmates with Sam Burt hitting some good shots. In the other game, the Cougars defeated Tigers. That's it for another week of sport from across the region, and if you'd like your results featured here on 7 Spencer Golf News, drop us a message at localsport@sca.com.au.
Now for a look at the weather, here's Britt Aylen.
Thanks, Louise. Port Augusta and Port Pirie both recorded tops of 29 today, Broken Hill 27, Whyalla 26, Port Lincoln 19. We saw sunny skies about much of the region, as you can see here from the satellite. Moving on to tomorrow now, southeasterly winds on the waters building to 25 knots with seas around 2 metres. Sunrise at 6:43 in the morning with sunset at 8:23 tomorrow evening. Sunny conditions on the forecast for tomorrow. Broken Hill looking at a top of 33 degrees. Woodner 32, Port Augusta, Corn and Port Pirie all 31, Kadina 30, Whyalla 29, Clare 28, Cleve 26, Coffin Bay 25 and Port Lincoln 21. Moving further through the week, Port Lincoln looking partly cloudy Thursday and Friday ahead of a sunny start to the weekend. Cleve and Woodner both fairly warm and sunny on Thursday, fine and partly cloudy Friday and Saturday. Whyalla and Kadina both sunny on Thursday with maximums in the early 30s, partly cloudy on Friday. Port Augusta with partly cloudy conditions forecast through the remainder of the week, maximums hovering around 33 degrees. Port Pirie fine on Thursday with showers expected on Friday. Clare with showers Thursday and Friday, Broken Hill fine and partly cloudy through to the weekend. And with that, Louise, it's back to you.
Thank you for that, Britt. And that's your local news this Tuesday evening. Thank you for joining us today. We'll have updates later. Bye for now.